What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Thank God. It's the weekend. It's been a long week. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Um, so before I get into this video, let me just say viewer discretion is advised. I just want to point that out. If you are hypersensitive, if you don't know how to take a joke, exit stage left. I'm just gonna tell you now because it's gonna be a lot of foolery in this review. So I just hope you know if you don't know how to take a joke and you're a little too sensitive, you might want to exit stage left and click off this video. I'm just saying. I get a lot of the hypersensitive in my comments that don't know how to laugh, and it's like, all right, I warned you. So anyway, getting into this episode of GH, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very, very as blunt as I possibly can. Um, as far as Wiley is concerned, I would just put that boy in foster care at this point because I would have to because I just feel like ain't nobody in that courtroom fit to take care of a turtle, let alone a child. I'm like, listen, all y'all got some foolery in y'all life. Michael, Willow, all y'all just self-righteous or y'all lie. Y'all got some type of criminal mischief. I don't even listen. At this point, Scott and Diane ain't doing nothing but getting paid at this point. I don't even know how they could, with a straight face, how they could defend all this foolishness. Like pulling out criminal records. Scott pulling out shit Michael did 13 years ago. I'm like, really? And the judge looked like she was just over Scott at this point with all them questions. Talking about, I looked at Claudia Zaccaro's autopsy report. I was so glad when Diane objected because I would have objected too. I would have been like, listen, what does any of this shit have to do with a visitation case of a child? You are pulling up a 13-year-old manslaughter case and pulling up an autopsy. This ain't no criminal trial. I so agree with Diane, and the judge was over it too. She was like, Scott, get to the point. Like, what's the relevance? Get to the point. I'm like, exactly. What is the point, sir? Because I'm missing it. You're missing me with the point. Like, what are we doing, Scott? Let's get to this. Come on now. Because if I was that judge and I'm sitting on the bench, I'm like, Mr. Baldwin, can we please move on with this? I have a very important dinner date coming up. I got a booty call coming up right after that. We need to move this because you bringing up 13-year-old shit is not like relevant to what we are here for today. Like, autopsy report, what do you need that for? Oh, it proved Claudia was much shorter than you. Scott was just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck at this point. Cause I'm like, what does all this got to do with a visitation? I mean, I could kind of see where he was trying to go with keyword trying. I see where he was trying to go with it, but I'm just like the judge at this point. I like Scott, but I'm like, you missing me on this one, brother. I try to root for you as an attorney, but you missing me right now. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, I see where you're trying to go with it, but you're not landing, and you're not landing quick enough. Like, come on, Scott. It just seems to me like Diane was a bit more prepared than Scott was, because Diane pretty much stuck to the facts, where Scott was bringing up shit from 2009. I'm like, he was a 17-year-old boy when that took place, so what does that have to do with anything? And I know some people are going to be like, well, he got sent to, big boy jail or whatever, adult prison. Yeah, that's because of all the stuff that happened after that occurred. The cover up and all that stuff, and plus he was tried as an adult because he was now legally an adult. But to me, I still saw Michael as a kid, because just because you're 18 does not make you an adult. Legally, you're an adult. Everything else, you're not an adult, in my opinion. If you still got your hand in your parents' pockets and all that stuff, you are not grown. That's just how I see it. The day you are independent, then you are grown. When you are handling your own stuff, like medical insurance, all that stuff, like doing grown people shit, paying your rent on your own, your groceries, all that, when you were doing grown people shit, then you are grown. Michael was not grown at that time. Legally, yes. Emotionally, everything else, no. That's just my opinion. Like I said, everything I say is my opinion, how I feel. Everybody else feels different, but that's fine. Like I said, we all got different perspectives on things, and that's cool. I like it. So yeah, Diane just pretty much stuck to the facts of things. You know, she was like, when Nina was in Nixon Falls, how many times while she was gone did she ask to see Wiley? I like that question that Diane asked, because that was a real ass question to ask. That was a real that was for real. That's some stuff Scott, missed the mark on. But it's like Diane was asking some really, serious questions. She was like, okay, how many times did she ask to see the boy while she was gone that whole time? Michael said twice. And you got to remember that when it was Wiley's birthday, she did not come back to Port Charles for that boy's birthday. She had a 2-second video FaceTime call with him that she cut short because Sonny was about to pop up in the screen. Remember that. So to me, it's like, okay, you done missed the boy's birthday and everything. So it's like, and I agree with Diane. She was like, how you gonna be somebody fabulous grandparent and you want all this visitation with him, but you only asked about the boy twice while you were out of town, and you didn't even show up to the boy's birthday. Then on top of that, Diane brought up the fact that Nina told Wiley the fact that Nell was his real mother and not Willow. Like, I just feel like it gave everything Diane and Scott were saying, it gave the judge, I'm sure, a lot to consider, a lot to think about. And of course, Diane brought up Nell's criminal record and brought up Michael's. She was like, when you look at Nell's criminal history and you look at Michael's criminal history, it's a no-brainer pretty much. She was like, shit, Nell's criminal history is hefty compared to Michael's. His is child play compared to hers. I'm like, that is true. That is true. But that judge was over it at this point. That judge was like, listen, we're going to take a recess. Diane, Scott, I want to see y'all in my chambers. Scott ass was nervous as hell because he was like, listen, he said, I'll be lucky if I get to practice in a food court after this is over. I'm like, Scott, listen, you better go up in there and kiss some major ass with that judge. I'm just saying, because you was like putting on a circus in that court. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but I'm like, you missed the mark on this one. I'm starting to get scared for Trina because he's supposed to be representing her in her criminal case. And I'm like, okay, if this is what you bring into the table right about now, Scott, you got me worried. I'm a little scared. I'm like, this is a girl future on the line now. Don't be messing up. And Nina sitting there trying to play victim as usual. I mean, I just feel like, honestly, I would not give this child to none of them, to be honest. They will all have to go to some type of 6-month parenting class, something. They would have to do something to prove to me that they're fit. I would have to make them go to a parenting class and raise a pet for 6 months. And if they can keep that pet alive and healthy and sane for 6 months, the person who can do that, we'll talk about custody and visitation of the child. Until such time, that boy need to be in somebody else's care. Because what I've seen in this courtroom throughout this whole situation has been a 3-ring circus. That's all I've seen so far. Just a hot ass mess. And Nina sitting there telling Sonny, oh, I'm sorry, but Michael came after me, he put that expose out about me, so I had to hit back, and bring up some stuff, and it's like, Nina, be quiet. Y'all weren't doing nothing but slinging mud at each other. That's all y'all were doing. Tit for tat. That's all of this has been. You do something, he do something. You do something, he do something. Ping pong. That's all it's been. And I totally understand where Michael was coming from when he was talking to Carly, because he felt like, at some point he is going to have to explain all of the stuff that's been said in court to Wiley, which is true, because as he gets older, things are probably going to be said, and it's better if it comes from Michael at the very least, so that way Wiley, when he gets older, doesn't get the wrong information, inaccurate information. Hopefully he gets all the details to everything. But Michael got a ways off for that. He got a little while for that, though. And, they probably going to gloss over in the future anyway, so it don't really matter. But yeah, this whole thing has been just a big-ass circus. And my whole thing is, what is he going to do to Sonny when this is all said and done? Because like I said, it's very tit for tat between him and Sonny. And he was not happy about Sonny being at that trial. He was pissed, especially testifying. Yeah, it's going to be some major drama between them coming up, I'm sure. So anyway, moving on from that, I was loving those scenes between Rory and Trina. Trina was looking good at the pool. I am so glad that they brought the pool set back. Which I knew they were gonna do. Obviously, summertime coming up and stuff. And that pool set is just gorgeous. Trina was definitely eyeing. She was eyeballing Mr. Rory as he got out that pool. Her eyes was locked on him. She was looking at him. Listen, Trina was standing there all hot and bothered. She was all wet, and Spencer ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm not mad at her. I'm like, listen, y'all need to go ahead and hook up at this point. I'm liking them together. I'm hearing rumors that he could be Esme's little adopted brother or whatever the case may be. I don't give a damn who he is at this point. As long as he ain't evil, he treat her right, I'm cool. I don't give a damn who he related to at this point because I like the chemistry between them. And Trina was definitely enjoying his company. And Spencer is mad as hell. And I know he is because when he came up in that gallery and saw them standing next to each other and stuff, he threatened by it. He threatened by it because he got feelings for Trina. And he's upset that she's moving on with her life. She's living her life. And I'm glad she put him in his place at that gallery because she was trying to be a little nice, asking him about the whole Ava giving him his money and stuff like that. And he was trying to tell her, oh, why is that your business and stuff, trying to snap on her. You just mad because she moving on from your little ass. That's what you mad about. Don't sit there and get mad because you saddled with that thing over there. You saddled with Psycho Susie. And you mad because Trina over here living her best life, even though she's going through hell right now. At least she got a smile on her face, and it ain't because of Spencer. And that's what he mad about. He tripping. Well, get over it. She found a man, and she dropped the boy. Get over it. You had your shot. You blew it. Spencer ain't been nothing but an issue for Trina ever since they met. Like, he lied to her in the first place about even having a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, everything about him, his name, everything. He lied to her about everything. So he just been a pain in the ass ever since she met the boy. Now she, getting interested in an actual man. He can't handle it. Oh well, sorry for you. So anyway, moving on from that. Esme, of course, is still working her little deceitful web, sitting here writing letters to Maggie and stuff, all gleeful because she think that she's about to get everything that she's been working so hard for. All you about to get is a kick in the ass. That's all you're about to get. Because this little game of hers is going to play out for 2 seconds and it's going to be over. So she needs to pack her things and get ready to join Ryan in the loony bin somewhere. She be enjoying having these little arguments with Spencer and stuff because Spencer kept telling her to back off when she was asking him about Trina and stuff and kept pushing him. She loves arguing with him because she knows that it's going to send him away and she could have time with Nicholas because Nicholas stormed into the house, having a drink and stuff like that. And, she about to make her move. She's definitely about to do that. And hopefully, I'm hoping Nicholas is playing some type of game with her. Some days it look like he is playing her. Some days it look like it could go either way. But I was hoping so. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but some days I'm just not so sure what the hell he thinking. Or what is he trying to do? Because this girl is about to make her move, and he needs to be prepared. Because if not, it's just going to prove everything Ava said about him was true. He's naive. And I've never really known Nicholas to be naive like that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes he does wear his heart on his sleeve sometimes, but he usually is a lot smarter than this. Him and Ava need to get together. Victor was sitting there trying to referee between them, and Nicholas wasn't having it. He pretty much told Victor, listen, go mind your business. But Ava and Nicholas need to get it together at this point. I can't say that I fault Ava for feeling how she feels. You know what I mean? Like, she's in this marriage, and she feels like she can't trust her husband. She feels like they're not equal. They're not partners, And the fact is, I understand legally Windermere is Nicholas's home, but that's his wife. You know what I'm saying? If she feels uncomfortable about Esme staying there, and for that matter, Spencer staying there, then he needs to, see where she's coming from instead of just accusing her and making him choose. It's not as simple as he's trying to make it out to be. Like, Spencer and Esme really put her through hell. They used her kids against her as weapons. You know what I'm saying? That's not something somebody could easily forgive. So I don't blame her for not wanting them in the house with her. Especially when her daughter's there and stuff like that. I don't blame her. She don't trust them, especially Esme. So I can't fault Ava for feeling the way she feels. And Nicholas really needs to try to see her side of it. But every time she opens up to him about this and they have these arguments about it, he never wants to see her point of view. He's just seeing it from his point of view. Well, you're trying to make me choose. It's not as simple as you trying to make it. It's really not that simple. And besides, why would she want them living with her when they're not to be trusted? They don't like her. So why would she have that in her home? As his wife, it's her home too. She got a right to have a say. Maybe not the final say, but a say. And I understand Victor wants them to come to some type of compromise, but I don't see how they can at this point. You know? And I love that Ava knows her worth. Like, she basically told Nicholas. Because Nicholas tried to tell her, oh, you think I'm going to come crawling back to you? Pretty much. That's exactly what she think you're going to do. You've done it before. So why wouldn't she think you'll do it again? Like, I love how confident Ava was. At least in his face she was confident, but once he left, she didn't feel so confident because she felt like maybe she overplayed her hand with that. Maybe she did. But you know what? If Nicholas is dumb enough to believe Esme, or he's dumb enough to get drunk enough to sleep with the girl or even touch her or do anything with her, then you know what? Ava may need to move on from him. I'm just saying, because you don't want to be with somebody that's weak and weak-minded. It's like communication is just dead in that relationship. Even when they communicate, it's like they're not talking to each other, they're talking at each other. Basically saying, well, I want this and I want this. That ain't how that works. That's not effective communication. Not in my opinion, it's not. That's just something that's going to send you to divorce island. So they definitely need to get that under control ASAP. Not now, but right now. Because it's going to be a hot mess if they don't. So anyway, moving on from that. I'm glad Amy told Chet and Terry about her little plan. That she set him up with the job and stuff like that. And, Chet was upset because he felt manipulated and betrayed by her. And, she made everything about herself. She was only thinking of herself. So I'm glad she told them the truth. You know what I mean? But Chet and Terry have a huge situation to figure out here. They got decisions to make. Chet doesn't even want to he don't want to take the job right now because he felt like he was manipulated into taking it. But Terry feel like, no, you need to take the job because it's his dream job. It's something he's always wanted. And I get where she's coming from because at the end of the day, this is something, even though he didn't get it how he would have liked to have gotten it, he still got it. And I think Terry would hate if he took the job or he didn't take the job on account of her. Because then, I kind of see where she's going with that because that opens up the door to resentment. Like, he's going to end up resenting her. Like, oh, that was a great job and I didn't take it because of you. You know what I mean? Maybe not today or tomorrow he'll resent her, but someday he might. Because that is, a good opportunity. Being the boss, you're a director of a VA. That's pretty huge. But if he does take the job, then that means whatever they were building is pretty much going to crash down. Because it is hard out here to find somebody who accepts you for who you are. They both have that issue. You know what I mean? And that's why they were happy that they found each other. But I don't see a long distance relationship working because if he's going to take over the VA and be a director over there in Chicago and she's co-chief of staff, that means they're both going to be way too busy to make that trip to Chicago and back and forth to Port Charles from Chicago and to Chicago and all that mess to Port Charles from Chicago. It's going to be too hectic. So I don't see that working for them. So it's going to have to be an all or nothing deal. And I don't see her giving up her job to move to, Chicago. I don't see her doing that. So they're at a crossroads at this moment. They're at a standstill. Like, what are we going to do? Because even if she moves to Chicago, she can be a doctor anywhere. But can she be a chief of staff anywhere is the question. You know what I mean? She'll be giving up a high position just to go somewhere to be with him. And then, in turn, she might end up resenting him. You see what I'm saying? So it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of situation here. I mean, what do you do? In my opinion, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. That's hard. That's a hard thing to do. You choose love or you choose your career. That's tough. Hopefully it works out for them though. I'm hoping, really, really hoping that it works out because I like them as a couple, honestly. And I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping that this really works out and we can see more of them because I like them together. So anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.